I wait all year for this pun, so you gotta let me have it. Happy Valentine's Day. Gosh, it really never gets old. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It is my favorite holiday. Significant other or not, I love the atmosphere around Valentine's Day, and I wish everyone would get into it, even if they didn't have a significant other. But I'm really just now getting to the point in my life myself, so I can't really judge. So I thought today would be a really good time to talk about autonomy, because more than any other time right now, whether it be because of Valentine's Day or just the social climate we're in right now with like stuff like the Me Too movement, there's going to be so many articles about self care and self love. And those are really important. I totally think that they should exist. However, I find that it's a tad, okay, a lot, ass backwards that we are teaching people how to love themselves when there are more people than we know and or are willing to admit that don't even feel connected to themselves. So I'm here to hopefully help that. So for me, what I'm gonna define autonomy as is like connection to your being. So I mean that your body, your mind, your spirit, just feeling one. The hardest part is feeling connected sometimes, and two, feeling ownership of, because a lot of people they don't really feel ownership towards their bodies. So even when we're talking in the sexual assault advocacy realm of like no means no, you're telling people no means no, but again they don't feel ownership of their own bodies. So again, kind of this interventive approach versus preventive. So there are three quick tips I'm going to give you on how I believe you can foster autonomy within yourself. This is hard because where I am now is a lot different than where I was even a year ago. Now I could like give you this whole spiritual synopsis, but I don't really think that's going to help anybody. I want to kind of go back to how it all started. So the first tip I feel is that you have to learn how to honor your body. How do you honor your body when you don't even feel disconnected to it? It starts little. For me, I'm a really big reader. So I started Googling stuff like raising your vibrations or quieting your mind, things of that nature. And then after reading it so many times, um, I started practicing it, which took a really long time. But now it kind of clicks, which is really cool. Let's go back to Tyne's senior year. I just gotten out of all those situations. I was finally living alone. I was about to graduate college. And what I would do right before I would leave for class, I would look myself in the mirror and I would just say, I love you. I'm proud of you. You got out of those situations. You made it. You're alive. Things of that nature. Affirmations, right? And now I don't even do it anymore because it's internalized. I think it's still a good trait to have. I'm just saying I don't practice it anymore because I've internalized those feelings. Um, on another note, looking at your body, not even in a sexual realm. I just think that especially as women, we're taught that our bodies are sexual objects, or they're taught to to sustain human life. But what about the in between there? A lot of people really don't know what their bodies look like until after pregnancy or until after a sexual assault. We're not really taught to explore ourselves. Again, not even in the sexual realm, but just what where are the stretch marks, where are the pimples, X, Y, and Z. To take that a step further, though, I'm totally into sexual empowerment. Touching yourself, masturbation, I think that's also a great tool as well. But again, part of sexual empowerment means if you're not comfortable with that, then don't do that. It's all about finding what works for you. So all three of those things work for me. And it got me to the place I am now. But I think it really does start as simple as even just you don't even have to look in the mirror like I did, just saying, I love you, like I care for you, I respect you. And it might feel kind of weird at first, but I think after you practice it so many times, it becomes second nature. However, that brings me to tip two. You have to honor your mind. Um, there is a difference between things just feeling new and being shy and there being a literal danger to doing something. So you really have to tap into your intuition. But before we get to intuition, I think you have to tap into your mind. I feel that as a society, we really shy away from certain emotions, negative emotions, right? Don't be angry too long. Forgive this person. Don't sit in shame. Don't sit in guilt. And even happiness, don't be too happy. Don't be, you'll be cocky. You'll be arrogant. You'll be all these things. I personally believe that the only way that your emotions control you is if you don't allow yourself to feel them. I have learned how to let myself feel not every emotion, but at least be able to acknowledge it so I can see if it's worth feeling through it. Even those weird days where you wake up and you're like, I'm in a totally good mood, but I feel odd. I will literally take myself to a quiet place and relax, or maybe I'll zone out in front of the TV. You have to let yourself feel. It's not acknowledging those emotions that are controlling you. It's the lack of acknowledgement that you allow to control you. So feel those emotions. Again, you have to be careful. A lot of my work was done under licensed therapists because sometimes our mind really does take us to deeper, darker places, and it's okay to ask for that help. I'm not encouraging you to go to the depths, the abysses of your mind, but I think even people, they don't know how to really feel happiness or feel, like I said, the more negative emotions. As soon as we feel shame or guilt, we're taught, don't do that. You don't want to be a bad person, or don't be overly happy. You'll be a cocky asshole. That's not true. You really have to learn how to feel those emotions. You don't have to share them. You don't have to act upon them, but learn how to feel them. And that takes me to tip 3. Back to your intuition. Like I said, there's a difference, and it's thin depending on how strong you are with your intuition, on your body signaling you immediate danger and your body saying, well, this is new and this is uncomfortable. So really strengthen that intuition. Like I said at the beginning of the video, for me, it was learn how to raise my vibrations. Now it's doing Pilates. Now it's eating certain food. I'm a big journaler, probably as much as I read. Reading and writing down those emotions, writing down those dreams so I can at least acknowledge them and really strengthen my intuition. But see, the thing with me, you guys, honoring all of these things that came after all my assaults. And if there's anything I can do in all of these conversations, kind of this rhetoric of I've lived through it so you don't have to, but also understand people still have to go through their trials. So I want more people to just become self-aware and, like I said, know what your body looks like before someone's already taken control of it, or know how you feel before someone's already manipulated it, or trust your intuition before you're in a situation where you're going, damn, if I just would have listened to that voice, maybe I wouldn't have been here. So those are my 3 tips, my 3 very quick tips. I just think that we are not taught self-awareness, and it is extreme deficit to all of us. With that said, I'm a super avid reader, if you know me in real life, so I want to give you one of my favorite books that talk about love. Here it is. It's called We Should Hang Out. I do not know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name is John. Hopefully you can read that. And I recommend that book simply for the fact that it's not your typical romance novel. There is a happy ending, but it literally is like the last few pages. And basically, it goes through him as an older man, like I think he was his late 20s, and he goes all the way back to middle school to figure out why the girls he liked never liked him back, or why it never worked. And it's really quirky, and it uses like a super simplified version of the scientific method. And he also has an amputated leg. I know he has been in the Paralympics. I'm pretty sure he's a Olympian, but don't quote me on that. So it just talks about, coming to terms with his identity as an amputee and things like that. Is super good, you guys. And like I said, it's not a traditional everybody falls in love thing. It's just really talking about quirks and coming into your own. So that is my ValenTYNE'S book. On the site, I will have a journal prompt for you and just some lists of more in-depth ways to take care of autonomy, but so I don't take all your time, we'll just keep it short. So autonomy becomes before self-love. They are definitely one and the same, so you cannot have one without the other. You have an amazing Valentine's Day. I hope it's super full of love, and if no one told you today, I love you. I think you're great. I think you're awesome. I think you're beautiful. I think you're smart, and I think that no one can be you like you. You guys have a great day. Bye.